Greetings, dear viewers, and welcome to Mengize Media. My guest today is Clive Wakefield. We will discuss about his efforts with Ethiopian filmmaker Abenezer Alemayehu to create a 40-minute AI feature film. Stay with us. Thank you, Clive. Please introduce yourself with the audience.
So good evening. My name is Clive Wakefield. I live in the United Kingdom. I'm a civil servant by day. As a hobby, I write stories and scripts, and I've been involved with this project for a little while now, turning my stories that were published in a New York literary magazine into a AI feature film. So with Abenezer, who is an award-winning filmmaker in Washington, we're working together we've created a trailer, and we're looking to raise funds now for sponsorship and investment to be able to get this film made and to bring the stories to life and to a much wider audience.
Okay, let's watch from the Rasta trilogy trailer and we will come back.
In the ancient highlands of Ethiopia, where legends are born, a prophecy whispers through the mountains. The dawn of a new era approaches. Within these walls, destiny awaits.
መንፈስ ቅዱስ ከሰማያ ሰማያት የሚወርድባት የመስዋዕቱ የሚሰውርባትና የሚያከብርባት በጽሞናና በመፍራት ሁሉ የእግዚአብሔር ሥራ ከእኔና ከእናንተ ጋር ይሆን ዘንድ።
አይዞሽ ልጄ፣ እግዚአብሔር ጸሎትሽን ሰምቷል፣ ወንድ ልጅ ይሰጥሻል።
Prophecy fulfilled. A king is born, and his name is Haile Selassie.
Clive, tell us about it.
So, okay, the stories follow the revelations to an English journalist living in London. A revelation coming from the Emperor Haile Selassie, the last emperor of Ethiopia, and also the Messiah of the Rastafarians. He starts having messages to a character who lives, and a journalist who lives in London, telling him about revealing to him that he's going to return to the world. That's the basis of the story. So the chap who receives the actual messages struggles to cope with that. He then ends up following this basically Da Vinci Code type mystery. So it's a mystery thriller, the story. He follows the story, takes him across the world, then through to Africa, and then across to America, where he's a bit of an anti-hero in a sense, this chap, and then that's where the Leah, who's an Ethiopian spy, comes into contact with him, and it's Leah who becomes the hero of the stories, really. She is the heroine, really. So she rescues the mission that's going wrong, and it's through her. She's an Ethiopian female spy, very beautiful woman, young woman, who then rescues the stories, manages to help to bury this cross, the remains of the cross, which they get hold of, which has been given to them. and they basically prepare for the return in the stories of the emperor to the world with a new message and revelation. And the stories move on then into Jamaica, and then later on across the world back to Ethiopia, following various different stages of the story as other characters come on board to develop this mystery thriller into to try and get the final aim of the actual the thriller there in response to all this persecution they're getting. They're being chased across the world effectively. So there's lots of murder, mystery, intrigue within the stories, as well as a bit of romance thrown in there as well. So it's a story for everyone, really. It's got a wide appeal. So those who love Da Vinci Code type stories, mysteries, right through to there's a little bit of biography in there, and a lot of excitement and thriller. It's sort of, you know, thrills along the way, really. So yeah, it's got a lot to offer there. I won't give it too much away with the story, but it's certainly it's got a wide appeal for all types of people who admire Haile Selassie, but also who just like a mystery thriller. But also the stories in a way can also be seen as an allegory regarding the restoration of the monarchy in Ethiopia. So that's sort of a hidden allegory within the stories. So there's quite a bit there to it. Yeah.
Why you become so interested in King Haile Selassie?
So when I was a child, I remember as a young child, my family lived in Africa before I was born, I have to say, but they lived in Africa. So I was aware of some of my relatives had moved to Africa. And so I always had a bit of an interest in African history. And then as a child, I came across Haile Selassie at school and through books I used to read. I remember reading a lot of history books, being given history books as a child, which were adult books, and reading about the emperor and being fascinated with the emperor and with his life, where he stood up to fascism, where he was an icon for many Afro-Americans and for many people of color across the world. So my stories are also, in a way, they contain a message of empowerment for women of color. They contain a message of hope as well, and so they follow this message that Haile Selassie himself reached so many people during his life across the world, visiting countries across the world, and inspire many people. And I hope the aim of the stories really is to impart, it's to celebrate Ethiopian history and culture and religion, and the best of those things, but also from the best of the historic past, and through AI, which is a new technology, be able to link that to the modern generation, the new technological generation, really. So it's linking that historic past with a bit of mystery there, and with a bit of thriller into a modern story that can actually reach and be of interest to young people and families today in our society in 2025, really. So I believe the emperor's message is just as relevant as it was back in his day. And this is a story that really can, I think, will sort of give a message of hope to the world through the mystery thriller, and be of interest, really.
What kind of support do you need from the people who like the film idea?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's a variety of people who will be interested in the film. I think there's people who will be from families to those who like mystery thrillers, Afro-Americans, people from across the world who are perhaps Rastafarians as well, Rastafarian people who admire the emperor and his work, but also those just simply interested in history and just like a story, a good story, really. But also I think it will also be a story that will also encourage, the film will also encourage, show scenery from Ethiopia, to hopefully encourage tourism there, and maybe some interesting business. There's a lot of travel involved, including air travel, hotel travel. So again, there's a lot of potential there around that to attract business and attract people's interest in Ethiopia as a place to invest in, be interested in. So I think that's part of it as well.
How can they contact you?
So I'm available. I've got 12,500 followers now on LinkedIn under my name, Clive Uckfield. So probably one of the easiest ways is to look me up on LinkedIn, see what we've got there. My biography's on there. I can give people copies of the book. You can see the trailer, and if people are interested further afield, we can, in terms of the business side or wanting sponsorship or investment, and we've got a pitch, a film pitch now, so we can give them information on that side too. So contact me through LinkedIn. I'm available on there if you want more, or just if you're just interested in it, really. There's also messages I've been bringing out, I've been given from the Emperor over the last few years, last 5 years, which are also on LinkedIn and available there, and will be within the book as well, which is currently sitting with a major publisher, Vasta Empire Trilogy. So that is available too. So if people are interested in the messages there, or interested in the book, or just want to find out more, then yeah, contact me on LinkedIn. That's the best way, and we can chat.
Okay, lastly, if there is anything you want to add, please.
No. So thank you for people to listening to my stories. I hope people may be a little bit intrigued, really, and an Englishman being interested in Ethiopia and Africa and your history. I've been very blessed as a person to have been here in England, to have been under Queen Elizabeth's rule for my life, most of my life, and that was a great blessing. I'm 56 this year, and most of my life I was under Queen Elizabeth's rule as a constitutional monarch, and I felt that was a great blessing for us as a country. And I'd love to see Ethiopia as well, personally blessed in that way again, of a constitutional monarch where you could increase tourism, interest and history to the country, and continuity, and unity and peace. As the king in England is king of all faiths and king of all groups there, non-political, all groups come under the king. So again, it's a great unifying force to have a monarchy. So there's a little bit of that involved with the stories and my mission there to encourage that as well, I believe. So and I know that's a controversial subject now in Ethiopia at this time, but I would just encourage people to to maybe think again on these things, and look again at their history. Much of it was removed, or that was hidden for many years, and so many people are interested in Ethiopia. Many Ethiopians are very interested in their history, and they had that hidden for many years, or in many ways. The emperor they tried to remove the emperor's name from history. So one of my aims as well is obviously to bring back the emperor back into history. So we may have come at the wrong time, but we're going to change the time, and the emperor is going to be there again to this new generation. And I would just encourage people to think on these things again, and what a blessing it could be to again have a monarchy in Ethiopia that could be a constitutional monarchy, but would attract interest in tourism, but bring unity and peace within the country again. So that would be, and a sense of pride as well. So that would be my sort of encouragement, really. So that's great.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for your time. God bless.